I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
Yo. What is going on, brother?
Oh, not much. Just finished my meal. It looks like you're eating too.
Who, me or Chris?
You. Where's Chris eating too?
No, I get no more meals.
I'm so sorry to do this, but you're right. I'm eating a bagel in front of Chris.
Yeah, I hopped on, and the first thing he does is eat this bagel, and I was like, "Oh, you asshole!"
Yeah, but you're shredded right now, so
I'm not gonna lie. Looking at the difference in my face and Chris's face, Chris, you can like see like jawline and bone structure, and I look so fat since the last time we recorded, which is kind of funny, but it's all good. It happens.
you need to get a filter, one of those face slimming things.
Yeah,
Bro.
Just shave the beard, dude.
Honestly, I always have the beard in the off season because I'm like just trying to hide how chubby my face gets because I do hold a lot of weight like in my cheeks and shit. But it's funny because like Chris, I saw you post the picture the other day, like literally just like your jawline. You're like, oh yeah, prep face is hitting, and like I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy, but like when I start to see like my jawline and my cheeks sink in, and for lack of words, like you become that like skull face emoji. You're like, yeah,
it feels good. I like it. Hopefully, the next week or so, my eyes start sinking in, and I'm like, okay, like we're getting there, we're good.
Dude, it's you as a bodybuilder, it's the best.
Yeah, everybody else, it's like my mom. She's like, you need to eat. This isn't fun. This isn't okay. But they just don't get it.
I know. I like literally as soon as we logged on, I was like, damn, Chris's face looks so lean, and I just look so fat. But I will say, I mean, I don't know, the beard's coming in kind of nice. What do you think, Justin?
I was gonna comment on it before you said something. It's looking pretty full.
Yeah, you know, not too many grays in there. We're still holding on.
Oh, I have so much gray in mine. The
You ever
whole underside is just gray and white.
you ever see? I mean, like I'm way too white to do this. I would say you guys are too. But you ever see like dudes who will like dye their beard and shit is just like jet stream black, like painted on, and I'm like, bro, you look like a terrorist.
Some of it's weird. I saw that who is it? Riley. It's either Riley Duckman or Riley Green. I guess dyes his beard a bit.
Okay.
But dude's pretty as shit. I can't even like hate on him. Like he's a good looking dude. I was like, all right, whatever. He's working. It's working for him. Whatever he's doing.
I mean, I don't think one of those like painted on beards would look good on me, but I mean,
I know what you're talking about. It doesn't look like it's painted on. I've seen the ones
it's just like
it looked like, or some. I've even seen them where like they'll tattoo them or they'll tattoo the hairline.
oh, I think it's called like SMP, like tattooing. To be honest, just fucking fly. To be honest, I don't know my thoughts on that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, we could go into male pattern baldness and hair loss if you guys really want to talk about that. But like when I see the dudes who will like tattoo a hairline or tattoo a beard line, I just think it looks so unnatural. Like, not even in a good way that you can just tell it's like manufactured. You're like, I don't want to look like that. It's weird.
Just go to Turkey.
That filter in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty weird. Do you guys ever worry about like losing your hair thinning with like everything you're doing or no?
Yeah. Just be earlier. It seems like ever since I started bodybuilding, everything else grows, and then my hair, like it's just not growing as fast. I used to always have this like long curly hair, and now I'm like just buzz it all off all the time.
What about Justin? What about you?
My hair seems to be hanging on. I mean, I just got it cut.
Yeah, you're looking
my
fresh.
hairline, I've never like seemed to have any issues. I get my hair cut every 2 weeks. So it's not something I've ever really worried about because I've never noticed it like receding or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like my family genetics, the men in my family, like they might like one of my uncles, pure white, like Santa Claus white, the beard and the hair, pure white, but thick, full head of hair. And like my uncle, like on my, my mom's side and stuff, like full heads of hair. So that's not something I've ever worried about too much. Just the family genetics seem good, and I haven't noticed any like hair loss myself. So, fingers crossed.
All right, so
the hair thing, and like not knock on wood, I don't snore and I don't have sleep apnea yet. So those are some things I'm like pretty happy about. As far as like side effects and problems with what we do.
Yeah, the sleep apnea would probably. I don't want to say it'd be worse than the hair loss, but like from a functional standpoint, like if your sleep is shit every single night because you literally can't breathe, or you need to sleep with like a CPAP on, dude, that would get so fucking annoying. Like waking up in the middle of the night to like take a piss and then you have to like pull this apparatus. I mean, it's whatever, but like you do what you got to do. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I feel like there's more solutions for like the hair loss thing than there would be like the breathing and shit like that.
Yeah, and like the hair loss is more aesthetic. Like it's just you have it or you don't.
Yeah.
Whereas like the breathing, like you got to get a CPAP, you got to do a sleep study, you got to do the CPAP, you got to pay for it, and then wearing it every night, and it like it's like you said, you got to get up to piss, or like, how sexy is that if you're like roll over in bed looking like Darth Vader? Like it's not a very functional thing. Whereas like hair loss might kind of suck, but it kind of is what it is. Like I'm not tall. Oh well. Whatever.
Imagine though, like you start dating a chick, right? And you're like, you have to wear a CPAP to sleep. And so it's like maybe the first time she comes over and spends the night, and you're like, so hey, like I don't want you to think of me a little weird, but no. I feel like
the
that'd be
first
crazy.
time over,
like,
you got to throw that thing on. Like breathe in her ear at night.
I feel like that'd be quite the explanation to like have to like give the roundabout reason about why you look like fucking Bane from Batman when you go to bed.
Bane, but not cool.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. But Jack Bane.
Dude, it's funny. I've never even told you guys this story, but this was kind of recent. So I was very worried about like my hair loss, and I wanted to get to the bottom of it to see like, is this age? Is it stress? Is it bodybuilding related? A genetic predisposition? So like obviously after North Americans, I did my blood work and I did a panel where I could kind of see like what my DHEA levels were, if I could see if there was a conversion of DHT, shit like that. And everything turned out fine. So then I'm like looking at my dad, looking at my grandpa, and like, dude, my grandpa bald as shit, rest his soul. But like one of my mom's favorite stories was when I was a kid, he was like holding me and no one in the family knew he had a hairpiece on. And I guess like I just literally ripped it right off his head. And everyone was like, whoa. like, so like, yeah, so I guess, sorry,
that
Grandpa.
movie. That's hilarious.
But so anyways, so grandpa was bald as shit. My dad, he's still got like a full, I mean, Justin, you saw him at North American. So like, he's still got a full hairline, but like looking at it, I don't want to say it's like receded a little bit, but obviously like age. So I'm like, okay, I'm like, so this is probably just like a genetic predisposition I had. So like, Justin, I never told you this, but this would have been 4 months ago, dude. I completely one day, it was before I got this tattoo. Because what happened was I was bored out of my mind and I wanted to make a spontaneous decision and go get this tattooed. The girl who I normally get like small fine line tattoos from was out of town. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm shaving my head instead. Dude, I literally shaved my head, just skin. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, what the fuck did I do? But relative to the fact I only do my hair if I'm competing or I'm going on dates. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm straight. I'm chilling. Like I got no shows coming up. I'm not whining and dining nobody. Like I got nobody to impress. I'm wearing a hat almost 7 days a week. So honestly, I mean, shit's back now, like fuller than ever. But bro,
I was gonna say, that's good.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. This is not a sponsored ad. This is not a plug. But yo, shout out at Hims. That shit fucking works, bro. I swear to God. Like, because here's what happened is I got to the point where you sit there and you see so much bullshit online of, oh, this will work, that'll work, this. And I was like, you know what? I was like, the FDA would have to crack down on this company by now if the shit wasn't legit. Like, there's just no fucking way. So anyways, long story short, I got it. I started using it leading up to North Americans, and hairline looked great at North Americans. So then I really wanted to see like, okay, how weird of a shaped head do I have? Was I dropped on my head as a child? Long story short, it's been 4 months and you guys just saw like, it's again, nice and full. Like it's really not pulling back anywhere. And I was like, yo, shout out at Hims. Like, so if any of you guys listen to this, struggle with hair loss, dude, I recommend go on the app. It's super quick. It's super easy. They're not paying me to say this, but the shit really does fucking work. So you guys are welcome.
I know they definitely have sildenafil too. Little ED. Little Cialis too.
They have like Ozempic and stuff now.
Dude, they're killing it. They're killing it. And
everything.
I don't know. I look at anything from like, is it valid type of standpoint. And when that many people were like talking about how effective it was for them, I was like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'll give it a shot. So yeah, here we are. And hairline's been naturally restored probably to better than ever before. So now I'm like, all right, I probably just saved like 3 years until I have to go to Turkey, which that's straight.
Yeah.
It's getting cheaper and cheaper, I feel like, by the year though. So, and better.
Yeah,
All the
do you
turkey
know?
guys.
It gets cheaper and better over
Do
time.
you guys know anyone personally who's made the trip over to Turkey to now hair time?
No.
Best I know is Ian and C-Bum.
Okay, okay, so I have a buddy who long before Chris and Ian did it, went to the same clinic. Dude, his results are so fucking good. You would never even know. Like when he told me, I was like, really? Like where? And I start like kind of looking, trying to see if I can see like any imperfections. But bro, it was such a good natural hair replacement that I was like, shit, $3,500. So I was like, I'm gonna start saving up.
I mean, honestly, like I feel like that's not terrible price wise. Like,
No, not at all.
you know,
Gyno surgery is what, 6 or 7 grand?
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, I know someone who just had gyno surgery. Now check this out. They were quoted in Colombia 3,500, so relative to a turkey hair transplant. He, for whatever reason, opted not to go to Colombia to get it done. He did it, I want to say either California or Arizona. Dude, $16,000. Pause. But it's a great boob job. I saw it in person the other day and I was like, dude, I would have never known. Like looking at you now, he's probably 6 weeks post surgery and it looks like flawless. And I had seen it before. I didn't think it was like, I mean, we've all seen some pretty bad gyno, but his wasn't that bad. But even still, I was like, damn, I was like 16K for some titties is crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Of all places to go, it's like California. I feel like it would be the most expensive. Like you could do some research. There's probably some dude in like Iowa that'd charge you like 3 grand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's some here that do it that aren't that bad.
Yeah.
Not that expensive.
I just when I heard that number, I was like, dude, I haven't even heard of females
crazy.
spending that much on boob jobs. Like, I mean, I feel like a good female boob job, maybe like 10K max, depending what city, what doctor, all that shit. But when I heard that, I mean, I know obviously like Anthony Mantello had the gyno surgery recently, and I mean, yeah, he's got bread, but I don't think he dropped 16K in New Jersey on it. That's crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I think he definitely probably could have got a better price, especially outside of California.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would guess it was Cali.
Expensive, but like plastic surgery type things or elective surgeries like that are probably even higher in California. Like you said, relative to like Iowa or Missouri or New Jersey.
Yeah. That's crazy. All right. Well, anyways, welcome back, guys. It's been we took a little break. Sorry, we're human. We get busy. We got shit going on. We got shows, clients, businesses, all that good shit. But we're back. I think this is episode 9. Dude, a lot of cool shit's been happening over the last few weeks, though. Starting off, dude, Justin, let's talk about your guest posing because that was fucking sick, bro.
Yeah, I mean, so my first guest posing was with it was a Pro-Am, the NPC Midwest and St. Louis Pro. Honestly, it was a blast. I mean, I got the chance to, so I've known Brett Wilkin for a few years, and we like talk back and forth and chat a little bit here and there. And I think a year ago I met Martin Fitzwater. I think it was at the St. Louis Pro. So I know him a little bit, but I know Brett better. And then I got to meet Justin Abbott for the first time. And so those are the 3 guys I got the guest pose. And you got, Martin, number 4 in the world, Brett, a top pro, and he's competing at the Olympia this year. And then Abbott won, he won his pro card at Nationals, and he's a no back having fucking Arkansas freak. Like he's a corn freak motherfucker.
Yeah.
The dude, like Brett said at one point, he's like, "Where's your neck?" And I look over, and I mean this in the best way. So Justin, you're listening, you're a big motherfucker. His head just went like this, and his neck just got wider. It's like a trapezoid. There's no,
bro.
He's just a big dude. So, but it was cool. Got to train with them. We went out to the Dungeon Gym, which is a gym out here owned by one of the promoters, and then got the guest pose with them. So it was. I mean, it's interesting. Getting a pump backstage when you're not in prep was so easy. It was like usually I'm backstage cold, like trying to get a pump.
So different.
Too much that I get tired or sweat. And like I did like a couple sets of curls with some bands and like a couple rows and instantly was pumped and like warm. I was like, holy crap, this is nice. Like, not being depleted, being able to get like, pump really quick. And then, we got up there, we went out in the crowd. It was a good time. I was I figured being next to Martin, who is number 4 in the world, he's about 250 and he was 3 weeks out from Pittsburgh. So he's stage lean. Abbott just competed at the Detroit Pro. So he's 3 weeks post show. So 270 in lean. And then Brett is 270 in lean. I was like, I'm going to look like a Make-A-Wish Foundation here next to these fucking dudes. And you know, they're much bigger than me, but I saw some pictures and I was like, all right, I don't look too out of place. Like it's not too bad. So I was just happy that I looked halfway decent on stage for off season next to guys like that.
Yeah.
But it is eye opening. Because like I said, I didn't look terrible, but there's levels to this, and you know, I'm not on their level, obviously. I mean, those are some big dudes and some of the best guys in the world.
Right.
So
How did you get the opportunity? I mean, obviously, we all know you're an IFBB pro, so it would start there. But how did you get the opportunity to do the guest posing with them? Like, who hit you up, or how did it come together?
so Jack and Antatoni, they're the promoters for like the Midwest area, so Iowa, Arkansas, some South Dakota, Missouri, stuff like that, Kansas, Nebraska, so the Midwest. And so I've known Jack for several years, and I've got to know him more and more as I competed here, and obviously kind of went up the ranks. And he reached out to me like a few months before and asked if I would like the guest pose. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Like I was humbled and like shocked I was asked to do it, especially knowing Martin and Brett were going to be there.
Oh, okay. So you already knew like that
Yeah.
that was kind of the lineup. That's sick. That's sick.
Yeah, those were like the headliners. Like
Yeah.
those were some of the first ones announced because I was like, oh, sick. Like I know Brett, Martin will be there. That's kind of cool. And then, you know, at some point I got asked and I was like,
Down.
yeah, Brett, like you're asking me, but I was like,
I don't know what you want me for, but I'll pull up.
yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I was like I'm so blessed and so thankful to Jack and Ann. I doubt they'll hear this, but you know, Jack, it was really nice of him to ask me to do that, especially because I'm you know, I guess a local pro from, you know, for the St. Louis area. So it was, again, an amazing experience. It was a lot of fun. Got to be up there with some, you know, some of the best bodybuilders in the world. You know, even just being up there, you know, I look at it as a blessing, and I'm so thankful that I had the opportunity. So, and I, you know, hopefully I can keep, you know, doing stuff like that. So,
Dude, super cool. I mean, like for me as your friend and obviously an athlete myself, but just a fan of the sport, number one, first and foremost, like obviously, yeah, like you said, Brett and Martin are some of the top guys. And then when I'm like literally watching all the content come out from like Gilco, from the show's Instagram page, I'm like, dude, that's my fucking boy up there. I'm like, that's so like, it's so surreal because obviously, like, one, it all started as a dream. Two, it was followed by action and effort. But three, to see like where you've taken your own career now, even in just the last, what, it's been 8 months since you turned pro. Like, dude, it's so fucking cool. Like, congrats, man. It's just like that was one of the things I was like, I can't wait to like hear your feedback from that, because it's not every day you get to pose with Olympians.
yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it all, this started, I think my first competition 2015, and I was 130, 140 pounds. Like I was a little kid. And, you know, now I'm 100 pounds heavier, 90 pounds heavier on stage with some of the best bodybuilders in the world. And like I said, so it's crazy that it went from, you know, a dream and watching these guys on YouTube to now I'm on stage with them. And, you know, that was a guest posing. And, you know, in you know, well, in a little over a year, I will actually be on a stage with possibly some of those same guys actually competing against them. So it's crazy to like, again, for that, you know, dream to kind of be coming true, to where, again, kind of guys I kind of looked up to, I'm now starting to bump elbows with a little bit. And, you know, again, I'm not on their level by any means, and all due respect to them because they're monsters and some of the best in the game. Sure. But, you know, I've opened the door. I'm in the same room as them. I'm not on the same level, but it's crazy to, you know, kind of take a step back and be like, you know, where I am now, to kind of see that. So
yeah.
It's so cool. Yeah.
I mean, we always like talk about there's levels to this shit, right? And so like, even just the other day, I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine late night. We were at the gym, and he asked me so directly. He's like, I mean, obviously I talk about I'm working hard, trying to get back to obviously requalifying, doing a pro qualifier, earning my pro status. But he asked me, he goes, you ever see yourself competing at the Olympia? And so quick, I was like, fuck no. And he was like, he starts laughing. He goes, why? Why were you so quick to say no? And I said, because I've come to realize in the 7 years of my bodybuilding journey, like my genetics are so average that even with my work ethic, I can only get to a certain level. And so like being an amateur, being a high level amateur, competing at national level shows, winning a pro card, being a competitive pro, being an Olympian, like when you recognize how far up the ladder that is, you can be delusional to set these really like lofty goals, which earning a pro card is a big goal. but you also have to be realistic enough to be like, do I see myself as an elite level pro? Even if I wanted to lie to myself and say yes, results speak for themselves. So like, let's be honest. Even look at someone like Anton, who is what, 21, just did his pro debut in Pittsburgh. Like, dude, that's someone who clearly has a great work ethic, but is very genetically blessed. And so it's like, when you realize that's what the pro level is, no matter what his age is, you're just like, yeah, I ain't on that level. And I don't think I could ever get there, no matter how hard I work. So I try to be realistic with myself. And I think sometimes when people hear that, they're like, well, why are you doing this if you don't think you can be an Olympian? I'm like, because it's still for me. Like, this isn't for any, you know what I mean? Like, and so I think like sometimes people just have the wrong idea from the outside looking in, thinking like, oh, well, if you're not going to make it to the NHL, why would you play hockey? If you're not going to be on the Olympia stage, why would you bodybuild? And I don't think that's necessarily the right approach to it. It's, yeah, set big goals, but also be realistic.
Yeah, I think that comment of if you don't think you can go to the Olympia, then why are you doing it? Are you retarded? Like,
I mean, I don't know who I'd have to pay off to get to the Olympia, but
if I want to do something because I enjoy it, like I'm gonna do it. That's silly.
let me ask you guys a question. And I see this talked about a lot because obviously there are people who make like a career out of this, whether it's coaching, whether it's competing, whether it's just from brand deals. But I mean, do you look at bodybuilding as a hobby or do you look at it as your career?
I feel like I've been talking a lot, Chris.
I don't know.
Chris is depleted. He's like, "Did you guys say something?"
Oh, yeah.
I like to think of it as both. I think if you don't think of it as a job, you won't take it as seriously. You know what I mean? Like hobbies, I have a bunch of different hobbies, but I'm not about like building my motorcycles. I'm not building my motorcycles in my head thinking like this is my full-time job. You know what I mean? I can always get back to that, whatever. Bodybuilding is one of those things where it's day in and day out. It's your life. You know what I mean? So I have my job and the way I make a living, how I'm blessed to do it, and then I treat bodybuilding the same exact way. I think of going to the gym and training as this is my job. I need to give my best effort because if not, I'll get fired, just like work. You know what I mean? So eat my meals. If I don't eat my meals, I get fired. I have my boss is my coach. So that's the way I like to think about it. It is a hobby, but it's very much, especially at least in this household. I think both of you guys can probably say the same, but there's professionalism in it, and I mean it's a job.
Well, that's kind of what I was getting at is, and I think it was maybe Brock Jenkins posted it, and Justin and I have talked about this amongst ourselves before, but it's like the day you earn a pro card is not the day you became a pro. You became a pro by the actions you were taking every single day during that prep, the years leading up to you winning that title. And so it's like when we talk about like bodybuilding obviously being a full-time job between, okay, like obviously how you diet and how you eat, how you train, how you rest and recover. Did you hit your posing? Are you getting your water in? Are you eliminating stress? All those things do make it feel like a full-time job, but I still have to sometimes look at it from the perspective of like a hobby. And I think when I do that, it takes me back to like Justin and I obviously grew up playing hockey. So it's almost like when you look at like playing hockey as a kid, you maybe had this lofty goal of, oh, I'm going to make it to the NHL. But as you were just shooting pucks on net for hours on end, you weren't thinking about anything other than I'm just having fun doing this. And so sometimes like that's where I try to take that hobby element of it and like make it fun again. Cause sometimes like when it does feel so job like, and I know Chris and I have talked about this where it's like when it feels job like, that's when you have to ask yourself, do I really love this? Cause if I do, I'm going to keep fucking grinding. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys both made good points in that. Chris, you started and Scott, you kind of summed it up. But yeah, in this sport, and really anything, really, in my opinion, if you want to become a professional, you have to act like a professional long before you earn the status or the title of professional. I've been treating this very seriously for years, and that's what got me to the level that I'm at. It's I didn't take it seriously 8 months ago and get my card and be like, all right, now it's time to no, I've been taking my shit seriously for years. I haven't been drunk in at least 2 years now. I don't drink, my cheat meals are typically very planned and thought out. Like I'm very routine oriented and like my schedule is I go to work every day. I am very blessed to make my own schedule, but I have little windows throughout the day where I is scheduled to get my meals in. And again, I'm very fortunate to be able to do that. Not everyone can, but I make that happen because I have that. And then what do? I come home, I change, I go to the gym. Like that's my day every single day. Monday, every single training day. And then my life kind of revolves around that because I do want to make something out of this. It's more than a hobby to me. And you did say like at times you kind of take it less seriously to make sure you're still enjoying it, which is absolutely
Right.
It's not every single set that I'm like, gotta be a pro, gotta be a pro.
Yeah.
But when I'm training, I'm enjoying it and pushing myself. But it's I'm also taking it very seriously at the same time. Same thing like with hockey. When I played hockey, I was balls deep into hockey, just like I'm balls deep into bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I slept, breathed hockey. I watched YouTube videos. I watched Ovechkin constantly. I watched games. I would wake up before I made the varsity team. I would wake up at like 5 a.m. during the weekdays when I was in 6th or 7th or 8th grade.
Mhm.
My uncle would drive my cousin and I to the rink at 6 a.m. so we could skate, just the two of us. No one was there, no coaches, nothing. So we could skate before we would go to school. Like on our own because we wanted to as 13-year-old kids. And it was, I was all in. And that's kind of how I treat bodybuilding. Like I'm all in and my life kind of revolves around that. But I enjoy it too. Like it is a job, but I enjoy it. So kind of get back to the original question. Like I think at this point I can start to kind of call it like the beginning of my career.
Sure.
Because I'm like starting to go somewhere with it, I guess. And I treat it like a career. But like 2 years ago, if you would ask me if I call it a career, I don't think I would have felt qualified to say it maybe.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know I've been taking it career-like serious. I know you guys have both been taking it. And I know you guys, both of you, Scott and Chris, you guys will be successful because you do take it seriously. I know a lot of people, they say they want a pro card, but they're drinking on the weekend.
Yeah.
They're in the gym and they're trying to get out of the gym as quick as possible. They're not, working hard.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like, I mean, sometimes I've got like a leg day that because of how heavy I'm going, how much rest time I need between, it could be 2 hours in the gym, but that's where I have to kind of remind myself, I get to do this. I'm fortunate to do this. I'm blessed to do it. I work in a beautiful gym. I have the resources. And so that's where like kind of putting the hobby element of it, I'm like, well, you know what? Like, this is what I enjoy doing. So I don't mind spending 2 hours beating up my legs because it's going to move me towards making it a career or making my goal come true. So like, I don't know. I saw this yesterday on a post and it just made me think about it where it's like, obviously like Chris was talking about with hobbies, like his motorcycle stuff and with his knowledge and skills in welding, I'm sure he knows quite a bit about how to build a bike. So it's like, he could make that a career if he wanted to. And it's funny how I think sometimes we lose sight of like why we started something because it goes from hobby to career. And then maybe somewhere in between there, like we lost our passion for it. And by no means am I saying I've lost my passion, but I think when you remind yourself of how lucky you are to spend the time doing that, it's not like a time suck of like, oh, I have to go to the gym and train legs for 2 hours. It's, yeah, I get to go to the gym and train legs for 2 hours. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I actually just had a similar conversation with Sid. I said we were talking about
it was Sid. Did you see Sid's post yesterday?
about that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, tell me you guys saw that. Dude.
I said something to it. And I'm like, dude, bodybuilding is tough. And I talk about prep being an extremely tough thing, but we get to choose to do this. The suffering and the pain of prep, the starving, the aches, the pains, the tired, like all the shit, we choose to do that because we are so privileged. We have the opportunity and money and food availability to starve ourselves and to go to the gym. So as shitty and tough as prep can be, which I'm one of those people. I think tough prep is extremely hard. If you're getting lean, if you're not lean, it might not be that hard. But if you get lean, it's hard. However, we are blessed and privileged to be able to do that. Yeah. And it's like one of those things. I'll tell you, prep is hard, but you're not going to hear me like whining and crying on my story. Like I'm so hungry. Like, no, I'm gonna suck it up. And you might ask me how you feel, and I might say hungry, but I'm not gonna like whine about it, like because I choose to do this. And again, we get to do this. We don't have to. We get to, and we are privileged to be able to make ourselves suffer. Our life is so good. We get to choose pain and suffering.
I'm just laughing because like the whole. And again, for those of you guys who don't follow Sid Rai on Instagram, you might not know what we're talking about. It'll probably be only be posted for another 16 or so hours on his story. But anyways, long story short, I mean, Sid literally just said bodybuilders are goofy. Like, this is silly. And I thought it was funny. Like, the guy was obviously like, well, another day eating my meal in the car, not my first time, not my, it's like, dude, we've all been there. Like, if you're really about that life, you've been there. But what Sid was pointing out is how fortunate you are to get to do that, where literally on the other side of your vehicle, 10 feet away, there's some illegal immigrants who are praying that ICE doesn't show up and deport their asses back, and they're just trying to put food on the table. So when I saw that, I'm like, the guy who posted it, I guess he deleted the original post. I'm sure he's a good dude. It was just like, Sid's just Sid, and if you don't know Sid, it could maybe rub you the wrong way, but it was so funny to me.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sid.
When I watched that video,
we gotta get him on here soon.
Yeah, we should. When I watched that
him up.
video, I laughed because I like my first thought is like, one, I like when I'm in prep, I'm at the point now, like I might have a while ago, like, posted a meal in my car, like, no excuses. Now I'm like, it is what it is. Like, we've been doing this for so long.
Yeah.
I don't even look at
Another day
that
at the
being
office.
hardcore or like impressive or dedicated. It's just like, that's just the status. Like, that's what we do. That's just is what it is. And there's, I'm not against posting, and I'm not saying that is bad, but I've just got to the point
like,
I do it regardless, and I don't think I'm cool or dedicated because I eat my meals in my car sometimes. Like, I do that in the off season sometimes because I'm hungry and I don't want to wait. But then my second thought was, he's eating a cold meal. I'm like, bro, there's microwaves everywhere. I don't eat meals cold. There's a gas station on every corner. You can go microwave it. Like, how long have you been doing?
Even steal some mustard packets while you're inside.
Yeah, I was like, I have ate many meals in a gas station parking lot because I'll warm it up. I'm not, I've ate plenty of cold fish, or not cold fish, but fish and stuff in a Tupperware container in my truck. But I at least warmed it up. I was like, bro, there's a microwave you could have found.
Well, you know what's funny is the deeper I get into a prep, sometimes I don't even give a fuck if my meals are warm or cold. Like, take a chicken and rice. Like, if I meal prepped it the night before, obviously I'm not eating raw chicken. That's crazy. But like, chicken's already cooked, rice is already cooked. And I'm just like, all right, like, fuck it. Like, it tastes good right now. I'm hungry. I'm just gonna eat it cold. I don't care.
Dude, I saw a video the other day, a guy on Instagram. I can probably still find it.
Eating raw chicken.
Raw chicken.
I think I saw the video. It's just a full like chicken breast, and he's just like chomping.
Just biting a raw chicken breast, and then he chomps on some like, I think, avocado or something else. And he's like, this is the way you do it. He's like, I didn't like chicken, but then I started eating it raw. And he's like, this is actually safer than eating cooked chicken. Cooked chicken is like how you get sick. And I was like, bro,
dude, was he eating it off of a wooden cookboard?
Yes, I love that you said that. I was just gonna ask, at what point did it become so anabolic to only put your food on a wooden cutting board and post it on Instagram? Because I see this trend now, and everyone's like, oh, I've got my steak, my avocado, my blueberries topped with honey, whatever the fuck it is on a wooden cutting board. I'm like, who said this was cool? Who said this was anabolic? Who made this trendy? Like, what the fuck?
And it doesn't
like
feel
a
like
wooden.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'll say a wooden cutting board, like, it just soaks everything. At least the way I was raised, it was like, hey, look,
you're
like,
right.
Fruits and stuff on board. Yeah. And so it's like, okay, you have a steak, all the juice, and it's honestly, it's a high fat, like, it's all like the meat bros, right? So it's just like tons of cholesterol, tons of fat in every single meal. It's like, dude, what are we fucking doing here for clout?
I love that you said that. That was literally the next thing I was gonna say is the fucking wooden cutting boards. Oh my god. Like,
so annoying.
It even makes sense. Like, what, I haven't seen a meal on a cutting board that like really required the cutting board.
No.
They're doing it literally just to do it. And then I've even seen some where they're eating on the cutting board in their car. And I'm like,
I know what you're talking about.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Went to your car and then filmed it. I'm like, you're going to make a fucking mess. I'm like getting anxiety because I know something's going to fall.
What about, what was I gonna say? Not the wooden cutting board shit. Oh my God, what was the other trend that's going around right now that I saw that was like driving me crazy? I mean, like, along with like the keto shit, I mean, that's not so much a fad anymore, but like, I remember when it was, and I would see people who would like, yeah, no, I'm eating like steak and bacon and eggs and avocados. I'm like, so fats, more fats. Oh, you got peanut butter, more fats. And I'm like, who told you this was a good, healthy, sustainable diet to get lean? I'm like, oh, well, everyone's doing it. Like, what?
They lose like 5 pounds of water because they shit their brains out from no fiber. and they're like, yeah, this is doing something. It's like,
But I feel like it was maybe like a keto thing. Like those people started the trend, or like carnivore diet people who started the trend of the wooden cutting board. But dude, whenever I see that, I'm just like, and I don't know about you guys, I'm team spoon all day. So like I usually cook most of my meals and either put them in a bowl or like a Tupperware that has like edges to it. And I use a spoon so I can kind of just, I'm not sitting there with a fork and watching every individual grain of rice fall through. Or like, imagine if you went to like sushi and you were trying to eat like a bowl of rice with chopsticks. Like it's going to take 3 hours. That's retarded.
I always use a spoon. And then for a while, I don't know what happened to them. I had a metal spork, and it was so awesome. I should probably buy more. I think it was off Amazon. I don't know what happened, but I used those forever. But yeah, using a spoon is so much more convenient. And yeah, either Tupperware or like a bowl.
I call them troughs.
Just give me an idea.
My meals. I get like the biggest bowl I can find, and then especially for pushing food, it'd be like, trying to push like pasta or whatever, and just a big trough of just 10 different things. Like just get it in.
I was gonna say, Justin, you gave me an idea. I gotta start trying to figure out how I can manufacture a spork with results on it.
It'd probably sell.
So it probably would, to be honest. While we're talking about manufacturing things, dude, I got to talk about this. I can't wrap my head around it. I'm not jealous, so don't take this as shade or hate. But dude, Controlled Insanity is fucking killing it. Okay, like Carlos and I were talking about this the other day, and I think Chris, maybe you got some stuff from them too. And like I was kind of doing my diligence and my research. One, I want to know who the fuck owns it. Two, I want to know how they're making such good quality pieces and offering them at such low prices, even just with what their margins are possibly potentially able to sell at. But then like they'll offer 15% discounts. They've got this whole Andrew Tate style of marketing where it's like they'll pay people per view for creating content. I'm like, per view is crazy. Like, and I'm almost sitting here, I'm like, yo, whoever's behind it, props to them, because either they figured out or they're gonna go broke really quick. But either way, like I look at their shit, and like Carlos said the same thing I said. I go, I can tell from the photos and the videos that like those tracksuits are like quality.
What is it?
Even the beaters, like you can tell that's a nice quality garment.
Controlled Insanity.
Yeah, dude. And here's the thing too, is like when I say they came out of nowhere, like I saw their first ad and they've got like Jack West, they've got Rough Diesel, they've got like a fucking squad of athletes. And I'm like, whoever's behind this must know some really, really high level shit in the apparel. And I don't know, it's just very, very impressive. So shout out to them. If anyone knows anything, drop a comment down below, because I want to learn how they're doing it. Like their shit's good and it's blowing up right now.
I'm a fan of
Justin's like about to order a beater right now.
I've heard you say the name, but I've never actually looked them up, and I haven't came across them on Instagram. So I'm looking them up.
Dude, they're everywhere on my Instagram. Like their marketing is so good. It's like they're doing what you would basically call like storytelling. So they're creating a brand through emotion. They're invoking obviously some type of feel. I was showing it to someone the other day, and they're like, it reminds me of like an insane asylum meets bodybuilding. I was like, yeah, kind of, I could see that. But like, again,
I'm kind of vibing from some of these shirts.
So I will say, like some of their pieces, they had like a pair of pants that was like basically looked like Beetlejuice, and I was like, okay, no one's probably buying those. But like the beaters, I know are like one of their top selling items, and even those for how good they are. Plus, if they did DTF or what's it called, or screen print on there, either way, it looks really quality. And so imagine it's a $25 beater, plus they're just going to give you 15% off for entering your email on their website. I'm like, God damn, I'm like, these guys are making good shit at a good price. So props to them.
Yeah, all I have is I have their beaters. I got sent a couple of them. I like them. The rest of and it's no shade to them at all. Like their beaters.
Oh, no shade. Like I like them.
I'm old school though. Like I wear Gasp, I wear Better Bodies. You know what I mean? And they have these like the pump covers. They're just extremely oversized shirts, and it's like, look, like if I'm gonna wear anything oversized, it's gonna be either Results, because obviously shout out Results, or I'm gonna stay old school, wear my Gas, wear Better Bodies, just because it's like this is tried and true. You can't mimic Gas. You know what I mean?
Well, to be honest, some of their tees, and again, I mean, a lot of us are drawing inspiration from a lot of other places. So the shirt I'm wearing is
Right.
really no different from the shirt Justin's wearing, right? Just one says results, one says first
Yeah.
form. They're both athletic style font, arched. I mean, that's just trendy. So like even with the ones that say like controlled all the way across the sleeves, when I first saw that, I go, oh, this is the same exact thing as a Gasp with the big on the, you know what I mean? And again, but like no shade because they're just taking something that they knew worked. They're inspired by it.
It
Obviously, I
works.
would imagine. But like when I saw that, I was like, dude, I was like, again, I'll clap it up for anyone who's killing it. But like when I say they literally came out of nowhere in the last maybe 3 months, they went from a brand I never heard of to now a brand where like I'm studying how they're operating. So I'm like, yo, I gotta move like them. But it's impressive. All right. Anyways, enough about apparel shit. Let's actually, dude, let's talk about, dude, Chris has got some dope shit going on. I don't know if Katie's around you, but tell her congratulations
I
on
can,
winning the overall. I mean, that fucking
Hey,
insane.
hey, you want to come in here?
Yeah, bring her on for a sec.
She's in her 90s, her gown and her robe right now.
Okay,
She got her face
chill on
mask
me.
on. Hey,
It's too cold
congrats
in
on winning the
here.
overall.
Thank you so much.
You looked fucking insane. That one picture, Chris, like I think Chris posted a carousel, and it's like the last one of like your quads, and I was like, yo, I was like, for a bikini girl, those are some quads.
Thank you.
Katie's a killer.
Yeah,
I
you
trained
killed it.
quads with
When
her.
I say I didn't see any of the other girls what they looked like, I didn't even need to because going into it, like I've seen all of your posts. I see like how dialed you are. I know how dialed Chris is. And I was like, oh, she's for sure winning. Like, but then like literally as soon as I saw like the overall post, I was like, I'm not surprised. I was like you looked fucking good. So congrats.
Thank you. I appreciate that. He's gassing me up.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
She ain't gonna be able
well,
to walk
My
out the
head
door.
is so big right now.
Well, wait, well, while we have you on, I want to talk about this real quick so, I mean, Chris and I have talked about this behind the scenes. Justin and I have talked about it a little bit, but like you guys are both going for a pro card now in what, 5 weeks at Junior Nats. And that's so fucking like cool, special, sentimental, however you want to describe it. But like, dude, I'm so excited for both you guys because I know how hard you're each working, but the fact you get to do it together is so special.
Sure.
It's been awesome. Like, I think we talked about last podcast. I wasn't tuned in as a bodybuilder at all until I met Katie. And now it's like I've been with her through prep. She's been with me through preps. And now it's like now we do this together. It's so cool. She keeps me dialed. I keep her dialed. And it's one big, hungry, happy family.
What's even crazier is the possibility that we could both walk away with a pro card at the same exact time. That's pretty legit.
That would be so cool.
I don't know if I've ever seen another couple do that. Like, I mean, I don't know who keeps track of these stats, but regardless, like it's fucking, it's special. Like there's no other way to describe that because not only for you guys to each be qualified, not only for you guys to each be at the level you're at, but doing it simultaneously under the same roof and at the same show, like, dude, it's fucking cool. It's really fucking cool.
She just said that on our drive to Chicago for a show. She was like, you know, it's kind of cool that we do this. And I was like, yeah, it is. She was, but it's like, and not in a cocky way, she was like, but it's cool that we're both good at it. And I was like, yeah, like that is pretty freaking cool, dude. We're blessed. We really are.
Well, whenever I see like bodybuilding couples, I'm not surprised that each of them are like fucking incredible. I don't know if you guys will know the two I'm going to reference, but I've been following them for years. I think they live in Dubai, but recently they've been in the US competing. So the guy, his name's Darren Farrell. His wife goes by Fitness Bex on Instagram. She just competed at Pittsburgh last week. I want to say she maybe got like 13th, maybe 8th. I can't recall where, but she looked incredible. Darren also has a sick physique. She's competing again at New York Pro, but it's like when you see these couples who clearly like their habits are building the people around them, especially their significant other, like, dude, it's just it's so fucking cool to see that like the impact you guys have on each other in a positive way. And Justin and I have talked about this too, but it's so special. Like there's no other way to describe that because not only finding somebody you can share the passion with, but like literally like I can only imagine what the conversations are like, you know, at night as you're both gearing up for a really huge event.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot. I mean, even with an event or like, you know, we have like down days, like Katie had to give me some big ass pep talk yesterday, get in my head, you know what I mean? Or vice versa. She'll get in her head and it's like having someone, it's different than like, you know, if you've had a girlfriend that doesn't compete or you're like your mom or your buddy or whatever, they don't get it. Yeah. So, or like even your gym bro, they're not on that same
so great,
emotional
honey.
level.
It's like, you don't fucking know shit.
Yeah. Or it's like, yeah, I can talk to Justin about what's going on in my head, but we don't share that like emotional level. Yeah,
You guys are
love you, Justin, but
Listen, I haven't touched you like Katie.
there's
I
levels.
was gonna I think the
You're not
dynamic
close
changes
that
once
close
things get a little physical.
Yeah, there's not that level of like tuning
Yeah.
in, you know what I mean, until
Yeah.
it's your life partner and it's like, hey, look, like I know what's in your head, let's solve it, and that's only a couple people probably in your life can figure that out. So it's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's so
excited for you
cool.
guys.
We're obviously rooting for both you guys, and I mean, fuck, dude. I'll be the first one to congratulate both of you if it comes true in 5 weeks. But either way, it's so fucking dope, and it's really special to me because again, Justin and I have talked about this before, where I think in a society where hookup culture, people just don't give a fuck about how they treat people. So to genuinely see people treat each other well and bring out the best in them while they're bringing out the best in themselves is it's the coolest thing to me.
We appreciate it a lot. She's
All right,
awesome.
Katie, you're done. Okay. I'm like, you're good. You can go now.
I gotta
Okay.
go make my
Say if you
creamy. I gotta
want.
go to
I just,
and I'm
no,
gonna
I just want to
make-
honestly congratulate you. You look so good. So wishing you the best. Okay.
Thank you.
Um, Chris, how are you feeling? I know, like I said, I mean, obviously 5 weeks out, this is going to be the biggest show of your career right now. You look great. What's you feeling good?
Yeah, I feel good. Like I said, I'm kind of just in my head a little bit. My body isn't doing what it normally does. You know what I mean? Like this is obviously we've put on a good amount of tissue, so the grind's a little bit harder, which I knew was going to happen. It's just it finally kind of woke up the last week or so, you know what I mean, from being like stagnant. But I feel good. We're holding on. I'm holding on to my size that we put on my legs and my arms more than I thought we would, which is nice. And I mean, just day by day, we're kind of pulling another trick in the hat every week. Every check-in, we're doing something different. So now it's all pistons are firing and we're getting it. And Justin saw me yesterday right off the stairs. I'm like, eyes are wide. I'm like, hey man, what's up?
Wasn't
What,
gonna say anything, but he looks like he's going through it right now.
you know
Blessed
what
to
though?
go through it.
Whether you're deep in a prep or deep in an off season, again, it's you have to remind yourself why you're doing this, why you love it, because there will be those late nights, the early mornings, the long cardio sessions, low calorie days, like whatever that it is, that it's going to play tricks on you and it's going to just fuck up how you feel, for lack of better words. But it's also like I always say, when I'm like deep in a prep, it's like such an addiction where it's almost like I have a hard time sleeping when I'm deep in prep because I'm almost so excited to check the boxes and get better every day that I almost like the reality is better than any dream I'm going to have while I'm asleep. So I'm like, okay, go to sleep, wake up, go to sleep, wake up. Cause I just want to get back to work and keep getting better every day. And like, also too, when you see the changes in your physique, like almost on a daily, weekly basis, you're like, yeah, we doing something now. So it's just like, I don't know. I'm probably, what are we, Justin, like 40 weeks into an off season right now. And Chris is like 5 weeks out. So two very different phases of the bodybuilding journey right now.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I feel like I've been in prep since last summer. Essentially, I got like 2 months, 3 months of an off season ish, just get healthy and then rebound, a little bit. But I love it. I love checking boxes every day. I know that if I can do what I need to do, then it'll just fall into place. I can control, what I can control. But we still got 12 more pounds till cap. Hit a new low today again. So day by day, just try to shave all this stuff off. It's gonna
What
be tight.
what are your calories at right now? Do you know?
Yeah, I think I know. I eat a meal plan, but I think I'm right around like 2,200 calories.
Okay,
My fats are always low. Like even in off season, I'll eat 50 to 60 fats with like all my food, 4,000 plus calories. I just don't. That's how my coach likes to run it, and my body feels really good. So my fats are like 20 right now. But yeah, I feel good. Just got
He's like,
my
all right, 1 tablespoon of almond butter, I'm done for the day.
yeah, I get it from 97 turkey. It's the highlight of my day. But yeah, I don't know. My it's low, but you kind of expect that. I know I'm gonna grind, and I know I don't eat as little as Katie, so so I'm like, well, it could be worse,
I'd imagine just like even when you're in off season, like I mean, I almost will set like kind of like Justin said, he'll schedule his day out where it's like, okay, I have patience at this time, this time. Now I need to get a meal in, so take a little break here. Okay, I can do a couple more, get another meal in, right? And I was gonna say, I'd imagine you're just kind of like the rest of us during any phase, whether it's a bulk or cut, you just kind of space your calories out. I mean, like for me, one of the biggest, like, I don't want to call it a hack. It's not like some top secret I'm about to reveal, but for me, I've actually recently completely cut out caffeine except for my pre-workout. And the reason was because in my head, I know how heavily I rely on coffee. As a diuretic, as caffeine, also as an appetite suppressant when I'm in prep. So like for me, because when calories get low, I want to almost like backload my food. So it's like if I wake up in the morning and I have a coffee, that's probably going to push my appetite back for like the first hour, hour and a half. And then now that kind of helps with my eating window when calories are only say like, I think my low has been like maybe just under 1800. So it's like, you know, when food's low, you have to kind of find like little tips and tricks to make it stretch throughout the day so you're not feeling depleted by 5 o'clock at night with no food left.
Yeah, I do like to eat my last meal. I ate it right before we got on here. I do like to eat, like we'll probably go to bed at like 9, you know what I mean, which it already is, but no big deal. I like
We won't
to
keep
eat
it too late.
No, you're good. I do like to eat my last meal around like 7:30 or so, or like 7, you know what I mean? And I like to go to bed not hungry, but like, you know, let my body, because like you're not really sleeping as anyways at this point, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, if I can get to bed a little empty and then let my body just like metabolize and burn everything off while I'm sleeping, it just feels better for me. And I
Yeah.
kind of, my window, instead of it being like this or this, it's like very much in the middle. It's very training focused, and then the rest
Yeah.
is just blinders.
What's like one, do you have any like diet hacks? Like for me, it was like cucumber salad. So like when I was low on calories in prep, I would take like cucumbers and slice them like really thin. And then I'd
Mm,
put like a little bit of like sesame seed on there, or like maybe just like a little bit of coconut amino. So it tasted like some flavor, but like obviously there's like no calories in that. So
yeah.
like that was kind of one thing I would do. Like if I were really stretched and like hungry that day. But is there anything you've been doing, like eating ice or Ninja Creamies, anything like to get you
Um,
through?
man, I eat really boring, honestly. Like nothing
That's a
too
bodybuilder
crazy.
diet, though.
Yeah, we just recently found out that Vlasic makes no sugar added bread and butter pickles though. So they're bread and butter but 0 calories, which is a game changer because
Yep.
normally that's like 35 calories per serving. So
Yeah.
those have been helping a lot, is eating some of those pickles. But for the most part, I mean, I take phentermine now, which is a game changer with appetite suppressant. So if I pop half a phentermine in the morning, I'm rolling like all day. I don't even think about food. That and caffeine, obviously, a lot. I think Justin knows I'm like two drinks a day plus coffees, and it's a mess.
How many milligrams of caffeine do you think you're putting down a day right now?
I don't know.
Oh, over or under 800?
Probably over. Probably, yeah, probably over. Not gonna
Dude,
lie.
that was me for a while, and like it was maybe a good thing in the last few weeks we haven't done a podcast, because like, dude, my body was really feeling the effects of the, like, it would basically be like, okay, just get to your training window. Oh, 400 milligrams caffeine, 2 scoops of pre, let's go. And then you feel great after that. Your migraine's gone, any like jitters. Like, dude, caffeine, people don't realize caffeine is like a really, really
Oh
intense
yeah.
drug. You abuse it.
I am big with no stims in my pre-workout though. I've only taken non-stim pre-workout for like years now.
Oh
Um
shit.
just it just makes me feel, I used to be in that, like when I was younger, like went through like the I am God and the insanity, like all the crazy pretty much
Yeah.
mess. Yeah. And it just made me feel like shit one day, and then since then it's like I take hostile now. I love
How do you
that.
like their stuff? I've never tried any of their products.
Dude, I love it. I used to work with Evogen, and I love their stuff a lot. They treated me good, and then, you know, my contract ended, so I just started exploring more stuff. And Nick got me onto Hostile, and I was like, I got some pump stuff, and I was like, dude, it clumps. So I know from old school, I know if it clumps, it pumps. You know what I mean? And I opened the tub, and it's just all clumps, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be golden. And that's why I swear by it now.
I've never tried any of their products. I know they have like a really good range of, like, same with Evogen, same with Raw, like same with First Form. So like any of those top brands that have like such a wide array of products they offer, not just from like flavors, but also like actual supplements, where like, oh, okay, I can get the full scope of everything I need. That's kind of like why I love Raw so much. But yeah, lately, I mean, I'll usually just do like 2 scoops of the essential, which it's, I think 200 milligrams per scoop. So like, I'm pretty much at 400, but a couple of weeks ago, I'd be like coffee in the morning, energy drink in the afternoon, pre-workout before. And then, so I'm pretty much at like that 800. And then I just basically feel like a crash type effect or like caffeine withdrawal migraines. And so I'm happy I kind of resolved that issue, but like, dude, it sucked for a few weeks because you really have to kind of just like detox. And then still ingesting 400 a day. It's like, oh wait, I thought we were coming off. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's rough. It is. It's a powerful. I think it's just as addictive as like sugar or anything else. You know what I mean? Like, it's got a fucking chokehold on me.
You know what I actually wanted to do during my leg day today, Chuck?
Plans of like coming off at all, but I do like, so I love it, but I also monitor it. So like in the morning, I'll do typically, I usually do an energy drink in the morning, 200 milligrams, and then my pre-workout, 250 to like 300 milligrams. So total, I'm like 400 or 500 milligrams a day. And it's like, 9 or 10 a.m., 4:35 p.m. And I've been doing that for a while. But lately I actually got some like cold brew and I've been drinking coffee in the morning, instead of that energy drink, which a glass of cold brew is probably less than 200 milligrams, like 80 to 160 maybe.
Like 120, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't like have a caffeine problem, like, 800 milligrams a day, but I'm in the off season, so I'm eating and sleeping well. But
right.
I do I love it, but I do keep it like within reason. Because even in prep, I would still do exactly what I'm doing now. If I need it, energy drink in the morning, pre-workout. If I'm tired before or after, it doesn't matter. I've already had an energy drink in the morning. I'm going to have pre in the afternoon. So I just got to suck it up until I get the pre-workout. And then after the gym, suck it up. It's nighttime.
My problem is it's not that I like the caffeine, it's I like the drinks. Like if they could make like
the carbonation.
Yeah, if they could make like a Blue Monster and like Reigns and Ghost without caffeine, I'd be hooked. Like I just like the fun drinks, you know.
Well, what about, can you do like a pop, like a diet pop?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was drinking one right now.
Yeah.
Well, the funny part is like I'm the same way with the energy drinks. I think why I started enjoying them so much wasn't even initially the caffeine dose. It was that, oh, this is like basically like to me, a citrus Ghost tastes like Sprite, or a cherry lime Ghost tastes like cherry Coke. So like if I have either of those, I basically just feel like I'm drinking soda. Which I mean that's very enjoyable for someone who, I mean, I know I could drink diet soda, I just don't. But so like I get Justin's question but like I know for me, it's like it's two part. Like now I like the caffeine effect, but I also do like the carbonation because it's really just like reminiscent of like, oh hey, I get a soda with this meal. That's delicious. I actually
bought some diet Sunkissed, and I
I bet that was good.
I like make a big deal out of it. I'm like, all right, like I'm gonna sit down with dinner. I put ice in the glass, pour it out, and I'm like, oh, this is so good. And I'm in the off season, but I love it right now.
What's your guys' like go-to energy drink? If you're walking into like a gas station and they had every energy drink, what's like your go-to? What would you guys grab?
Go ahead, Justin.
I mean I go with First Form, but I did just start trying Gorilla Mind. And I actually like it a lot. I had one today I've had 3 flavors now and I liked all of them. But it caught my attention. I saw black cherry vanilla, I think, and then
that one's
lemonade. Good. Yeah, and then blackberry lemon. I was like, I gotta try those. And then today I tried one called white frost, I think, and all 3 of them excellent. So I always do First Form, obviously, but I saw those flavors and I'm like, I gotta try those. And those are 200 milligrams of caffeine. They taste great. I love those. So those are probably, besides First Form, those are my top favorite right now.
Chris, what about you?
I'm pretty experienced in the energy drink world, especially coming from blue collar.
Connoisseur,
I would say I'm a connoisseur. So I'm kind of burnt out of like the normal like white flavors or stuff like that. So now I've been leaning on like the Blue Monster because it's new, and then the Ghost has straw mango now. It's like strawberry, banana, and mango. Dude,
that's the one. Oh my god, yo. Fucking shout out Max Tuning. That might be the best flavor. And like if I go to out here, we have, I don't know if you guys have them there, but it's called Circle K, is like the popular gas station.
Yeah.
And anytime I go to a Circle K, if they have Strawbango right now, dude, I just grab as many as I can. That one in particular is like my guilty pleasure. But the other one that I've been hooked on, and it's a little harder to find, but dude, the Bum Energy Dr. Bum, dude, if I did a blind taste test between like Dr. Pepper and Bum, like Dr. Bum, I would probably not know the difference. It tastes so fucking good.
The
I will
Dr.
say-
Bum is good, but and also the root beer from Bum.
The root beer one's really good.
The root beer's killer too, yeah.
And I don't think I know that. I mean, I don't think I know. There's not a Dr. Pepper, Dr. Bum flavor either. But though,
No, I haven't
I don't
seen
think any other brand has anything like that.
No, I haven't seen any other brand do a root beer or a Dr. Pepper. And again, like going back to why I love energy drinks, because it tastes like soda. Well, then you give me the literal soda flavor in either of those two. I'm like, yep, 10 out of 10. But like, dude, Chris nailed it. That Strawbango is so good. And it's hard to find out here. So like when I do find it, I'll just literally like 5-6 cans, fuck it, give them all.
It's the same out here. Like we even have a cool right by the house, this little gas station, these Indian guys run it, and it has like all the cool, like the Rise and Ghost and Gorilla Mine. It has everything but Strawbango. Like I just went there to try to find it. They didn't have it. So I know the Walmart in Chesterfield has them. So when I get done training, I'll run over there and pick up whatever groceries, and I'll get like 4 or 5 of these at a time. I'm like, yeah, stock it up. Quick Trip doesn't sell them either.
Okay, wait, I'm laughing because like this is gonna sound racist, so at least I'll preface it as such.
Oh,
but when you
shit.
walk into the gas station, to the Indian guys be like, "Oh, big muscle man!" Like, do they like? Because like, okay, I'll be honest. Like, I walked into a sushi place recently, and literally this little Asian lady, like, she's bringing my food out, and she goes, "Oh, big muscle man!" And, like, I started dying laughing. Because one, I don't think I'm that big, but like, yeah, I eat a lot, so I do order a lot of food. But just like sometimes that cultural barrier, and then like how they address you or don't know how to address you. So like. And then again, with their like cadence and accent, it's just so funny to me when like people of a foreign culture are just like the Indian guy, like, "Oh, big muscle man, welcome, energy drink."
Oh yeah.
Crazy. I
It's
think I might have told you this, Scott. I can't remember. There's a place right next to me called TJ's, TJ Wings, and it's like a little local like pub bar, and like I would go there for cheat meals and stuff, and like so most people know me there. And there's a guy when I go in sometimes. His name is Dale. Just as
Yeah.
dude, like in his 50s, and I'll come in and I'll see him like see me across the bar, like my man, and he calls me a species. He's like, "You are a species," and I'm like,
it's just
every time.
funny. Like,
Yeah, it's like every time he sees me is the first time. Just the crazy excitement. It's like I've seen you a million times, Dale. Like I feel like you should be used to it, but like I appreciate it because he hypes me up. He's such a nice guy, but it's just such an exaggerated.
I don't know. Just something about like maybe it's just those two cultures, Indian and Chinese. Just whenever I feel like they see like a jack dude, that's the first reaction. They're like, "Oh, big muscle man." Sorry,
It is nice. It's a nice little ego boost every now and then.
I was just imagining Chris like jacked out of his mind, like 5 weeks out from junior nats, walking in just to cop some energy drinks, and they're like, "Oh, look at this guy."
Thankfully, this gas station, I think you probably know where it's at, Justin. It's right across from that the emergency vet there in Webster. So like right at the where 2.0 is, right down the street. That I think it's a BP.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Right by the bridge, yeah. And then the Indian guys though, they're not like normal Indian guys. They're like pretty hood. So you walk in, they're like, "What's up, bro?" And I'm like, "Hey man, like what's going on?" And I walk in.
They
and,
do
like,
school, huh?
Yeah, I have like
Hey,
my gas shorts that come to like my bottom of my knees, and then like my big shirts and stuff. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
"So like I need to get through this." And they're like, "Yeah, we know what's up, man." They're cool.
Yeah, that's funny. That's cool. All right, let's do a few more for today. And I know Chris has got to get to bed early. I know it's getting late with the time difference over there, but I got to ask you guys, what did you guys think about the event in Pittsburgh this past week?
Kind of the same as everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm referring to
won.
obviously Nick versus Derek first and foremost.
I mean, from what I saw, I personally would have chose Nick. I think Derek has a phenomenal physique, and from like an aesthetic standpoint and a structure standpoint, he wins. But Nick brought massive size. He was full, big, and he was leaner. He was more conditioned than Derek. And I think if you can stand toe to toe in a back double bicep with Derek, which is arguably one of the best back double biceps right now and one of his best poses, and you can stand toe to toe, and it could have gone either way. I could see it going either way. Like that says something. So I didn't listen and watch the entire video, but Tyler Mannion put out a video, and I feel like people should watch it. I didn't watch all of it, but Tyler
it was like pose for pose, like his critique, his ratings.
Yeah, Tyler even said he's like he was head judge. He had Nick winning, but he was overruled because he's not the only judge. He said only three poses were like a definitive one person or the other. The other 4 to 5, he said could have gone either way. And the judging was even 7 and 8, and then 8 and 7 for prejudging the finals. So it was super close. And Tyler said he had Nick winning, but it didn't go his way. And that arguably most of those poses, he could see the argument for either one. Like it was that close. So I think the big thing is just Nick's freakiness and the fact that he was more conditioned. But, I don't know. The judges may have Derek has better shape too. So that might have what edged him out in the win. I don't know. But I think it was a good ass show and definitely interesting to see. And now it sets us up to an interesting New York Pro.
That's what I was going to say is, obviously that leads now into Nick will be doing New York Pro to get his qualification. I'd imagine based on the lineup, which I just saw a little while ago, Nick is the favorite to win, as he should be. So now that obviously parlays into the Olympia conversation, which it's been the same top 4 guys now for the last handful of years. Whether or not Hottie's in that mix this year, it's always up in the air. Whether or not he can even make it over here with his visa and shit like that. I feel like that's a constant issue for him with travel. But regardless, you've got Derek, you've got Nick, and you've got Samson. And so obviously Derek and Samson are already ready to go from a qualification standpoint. Nick will get his, I'd imagine, at New York. And then again, we'll see.
Nick should still be qualified from Prague at the beginning of the year.
Well, no, Nick hasn't competed.
Or not Nick.
Martin.
Yeah, sorry, I got them mixed up.
Oh, you know what, Martin? Sorry, and Martin will be there in the mix too. I think obviously, like even he knew he was a little bit off in Pittsburgh. So right, again, if we're talking about the top 5, Martin's definitely in that conversation too. But for me, it really and again, nothing against Hottie at all. I think great physique, but maybe a little past his prime in comparison to the other 3 guys we're talking about who are clearly in their prime right now. And I don't know. As someone who knows Nick personally, it's such a dope storyline to see what he's fighting through injury, through all the bullshit, through everyone doubting him. And obviously, I don't know if you guys saw, he just signed a brand deal with Dark Sport yesterday, which makes perfect sense. Their tagline is never fucking give up. So who's a better example of someone that doesn't quit? But even still, Nick is bodybuilding. Nick is the definition of hard work. And I don't know. It sucks because I think he could have won that show. And will he win in New York? Yes. We all could probably agree on that. But now it, again, raises the question for the Olympia, what does he have to improve on to beat Derek at the Olympia? Because this is his window right here to become Mr. O, And I think that he's got the right team around him. Kyle and him obviously are working really well together right now. So, I don't know. I'm rooting for him. I hope he gets it done this year. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I've never been a huge fan, but I've always respected his physique and paid attention. To be honest, I don't idolize any bodybuilder, to be honest.
Sure.
We're all human. But Nick's a freak. And so I've always kind of thought he's got a freaky factor to him. And I never understood why people were hating on him so much the last couple of years. He had a hamstring tear. So that's
visibly. I've never seen a hamstring bruise so bad in my life. You really want bro to get on stage with that?
And then, the next one, I get some people are disappointed, but I'm not going to whine and cry if someone doesn't compete. I don't know the circumstances. I don't know what was going on with Jansen. I don't know what's going on with his health. So if someone pulls out of a show that I don't know personally, I never really get pissy or talk shit.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Dude, I could have had a flawless prep.
When he was the last time he competed, he was number 3 in the world at the Olympia.
Right.
He's not a slouch.
Yeah,
he was a good bodybuilder. He had a year or so off with injury, and then whatever happened with when he had to pull out and you know, the Matt Jansen stuff. But I
Right.
don't know if anybody counted him out. He's young and he's a freak, and we've been seeing his check-ins. Like I don't think he ever like fell off.
No.
He's made a complete 182. Like he's tightened up. His waist has came in. He even from like when you're talking about from the back, him and Derek, dude, his adductors are like smushed together. He's peeled. I think his back lines up with Derek's. Like I was just watching the Hostile podcast this morning, and they're putting the side by sides up. And it's like if you looked at that side by side shot of both of them from the back, like, dude, there's nothing, you can't pick anything off of him. Maybe from the side, you know, Nick from the side, he probably loses a little bit there, but like dude's a monster, and he's been working. Everything's improved, you know.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, when people talk shit for someone pulling out of a prep, like, and you have no idea what the real reason is, like, you could have literally had a flawless prep, and maybe I got food poisoning the night before the show, and I'm shitting my brains out, so clearly I can't go on stage. Like, yeah, that'd be unfortunate, but guess what? The day after North Americans, I was throwing up for 6 hours. It was my fault because I got motion sickness from the airplane ride back and just being an idiot. But I woke up the next day extra shredded. But the point I'm getting at is, what if that would have been on the way to Pittsburgh and that was the day before and I forgot my motion sickness medicine and I'm throwing up for 6 hours prior to a pro qualifier? I'm probably not getting on stage. So it's like, people don't really know the ins and outs, like Justin said. And that's where, like, I think you have to give a little bit of grace, where it's like, again, these are the best athletes in the world. So if them and their coach decide, hey, it's probably not to our advantage to compete, then trust that. Don't critique it and be like, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. That's stupid.
Yeah, and I remember
Bodybuilders,
when it happened, I was like, all right, what's going on? And I listened to him talk and Matt talk, and they kind of said like his body wasn't responding and stuff like that. And so the way I took that, without knowing much, I was like, either he's not going to be ready because his body's not responding, and or with the amount of time he's in prep, the supplements he's been on, his blood work and or body is in a state that is not good, and for his health, they need to pull out. Like,
Right.
you guys know what we do in this sport. You can't be in prep running stuff constantly and expect to be okay and not eventually damage your body, and then also in the process show a shitty package on stage because you're just pushing through with drugs. Like, at some point you got to know when to you know, hit the brakes a little bit. And when I heard that, I was like, I don't fully know what's going on, but if he's not ready to get on stage and he doesn't want to show a subpar product in the biggest stage in the world, and or his health is, you know, possibly in question, I don't blame him.
Yeah, it's the stage never goes away. And when you do take long layoffs in between shows at any level, maybe there is that seed of doubt. Can I beat my previous best? Will I get back to where I was, if not better? I mean, that's just natural progression of human thought when you really do strive to be the best at what you do, which he clearly does. So like, if he pulls out, it's like, okay, then I don't want to see Nick at 90%. I want to see him at 100, 110. Like, I want to see Nick at his best against the other guys at their best. Now, obviously, we understand. What's that?
I think we saw that at Pittsburgh.
And exactly.
And
And
back
obviously,
and fucking showed everybody, like, I'm still here.
like, there are times where, like, take Anton, for example. If you look at one of his Instagram posts, he tore his hamstring 2 weeks out from Pittsburgh, still competed. You could see the bruising in the photos he posted, but through the tan, you couldn't see anything. Now, obviously, he doesn't post or talk about that until after the show. So there are ways to, quote, get around injuries and still compete. But when you're literally vying to be one of the best in the world, why would you put
is it worth it?
a product out there? It's a disservice to yourself.
Yeah.
So I think, and in my heart, I'll tell you, I think this is his year. So hopefully we can rewind this clip right here in October, and Nick is Mr. O. That would be sick.
I think it would. I mean, that would shake up the bodybuilding world and make things really.
Yeah.
I mean, at the very minimum, we have a pretty crazy top five: Samson, Hottie, Derek, Martin, Nick.
Yeah.
You got you, Andrew Jack. I am excited to see Brett up there since I do know him. He's going to be definitely a top 10. I could see him somewhere in that 5 to 7, 8 place.
Bonac this year again.
Bonac's still around. Yep.
He looks great. He's getting better.
Bro,
Yeah,
it's
Well,
crazy.
The fucking clock backwards. He's getting
How
better.
old is he? Like 50?
He's like 44, 45 now.
He, like, and again, like, obviously each year we all get older. So like, visibly though, I feel like over the last few years, you can tell like he's got a little more gray in his dreads and his beard, whatever. But like, dude, he literally, like you said, he just keeps getting better. It's like the fuck? This guy's like Benjamin Button. Like the older he gets, the better he gets.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you got Vito. You got good Vito
Oh
also.
my
If he
God,
comes in
that guy's a
peeled,
freak.
I think if
He
he comes peeled, it'll be top
That guy's a
6.
freak.
did he just injure something, I think?
Yeah, he tore his lat or something or bruised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His progress pictures leading up to Pittsburgh look crazy.
Yeah, if he can come to the O condition, then that's gonna break top 6, I think. Just from shape and size. I mean,
Yeah, he's freaky.
yeah.
Got a cool physique.
He's one of those guys where, like, again, when we talk about like, oh, for open, we want to see the freaks, we want to see the best of the best. Well, I mean, those are the sizes, the shapes we want to see. So anything less than that, where they're not at their best, respectfully, I don't care if you sit out for a year or 2 years to improve, because you know that there's another level to what you can bring. So I'm okay with it when guys make the decision to pull out of shows. I mean, it's just life. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think if you're not going to bring your best to stage, it might be in your best interest to not do that. That's why I'm taking time off. I could have done a debut already. I don't
Right.
feel like being 13th or 14th place though. I want to be good and improve from my last showing. I don't want to show up looking just as good or worse than I did last time. I want to show up and people be like, "Oh shit, he made some progress since his last show."
Yeah. Well, and I mean, obviously, the cliche saying you only get one debut, right? So it's like now you're on that pro level and you want to make it fucking count. So again, like say Justin were in prep for his pro debut and same thing, maybe his body's not responding. Well, that could be for a variety of reasons. There's so many variables that go into it. But at the end of the day, he knows better than we do. Him and his coach know better than we do. So for us just to be the fat guy on the couch eating Doritos being like, oh, Nick's done. He sucks. He's washed up. Like, bro, get your fat ass on the treadmill and then talk to me, like
Bodybuilding fans are the biggest like switchbacks. They'll go,
Yeah.
they're the first person to hate somebody, and then the next post they're the first person to be like, yeah, you're gonna be next, oh, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And they're nobodies. You know what I mean? Like,
Funny to see how angry and upset they can get, especially because they don't even compete. Like
I had
Yeah, that's the
people
crazy
root for
part.
people. Like I do root for people. Like Brett, I want him to do well. I would love to see Nick do well. People like that, Martin. I would love to see those guys do well. But if they don't, I'm not gonna like whine and cry and get in fights on Instagram comments over it. It's like,
Washed up bodybuilder. This guy sucks.
Yeah,
He
it's like
switch
I'm not like
coaches.
that invested in it. I'm like, I love this, but I'm not gonna get in a fight over it and like talk shit about some guy who doesn't even know I exist. Like,
Dude, I literally commented on something, and I mean, I think I mentioned this before, but this is now like going on 2 months ago, where like there was one of my buddies posted something just talking about how like fitness groups are their butt pics, trying to essentially funnel you to their OnlyFans link in the bio. And I just responded and I was like, it's mind blowing to me. People pay for OnlyFans. Like, get out in the real world, talk to human beings, touch grass. Like, it's not that deep. And like, it's probably got over like 2,500 likes on it. But the amount of people who will talk shit on it and be like, oh, how relevant coming from a bodybuilder, blah, blah. I'm just like, bro, I'm not even going to acknowledge these dumbass replies. But it's also, I'll take a look and I see it's like, you're fat and out of shape. Your life sucks. You have an avatar as your fucking Instagram like picture. Like, you're not even a real person to me. Like, do something with your life before you become a keyboard warrior, I guess would be the best way to say it.
the
A lot of keyboard warriors in bodybuilding.
Gilko posted my routine video, and it was just like, just someone's routine at a regional show, if that. In the comments, it blew up. In the comments under it, I was just like, what is? I try to like
People go,
respond to like a
what?
couple. Yeah, they're like, they talk shit about everything from like my glasses, or like, why doesn't this guy smile, or like random. I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like,
not one of them is in better shape than you.
yeah,
No,
I didn't see a single one in there. And
not a
I
single-
went through like
Exactly.
I was petty about it.
Oh yeah. All right,
like,
let's see what you have to
I would
say.
beat you. I beat you. I beat you.
Yeah, I was like, let's see who it is, and I was like, if someone's bigger than me, like, yeah, I'll let them talk shit. But I looked
Yeah,
at
yeah,
everybody,
like-
I was like, no, nobody.
Well, it's always like, I will take critiques from people who are in my space, who have a better physique than me, know more than me, have been doing this longer. But if you're literally fat as fuck and don't even go to the gym, the fact that you even think you have the right to say anything, I'm going to let it carry weight, you're out of your fucking mind. Like, I literally just read that shit. I see your fat ass and I'm like, yeah, that's hilarious. Next.
Or the guy that year in, year out, like they do the gym, he looks the same every single year, every single week. Nothing ever changes. You know what I mean? And he's the first person to tell you, like, I got a video. I was just posing at house the other day, like a few days ago, 3 or 4 days ago, and in the video, the dude stopped me and was trying to give me tips on how to pose, and I was like, I don't know how to be like, hey man, like,
Thanks, but fuck off.
yeah, like
Who was it? Was
I
it
don't
at
even
house?
know. Yeah,
Some
I think
random-
I'd have to tell you later. I mean, you probably know who I'm talking about. I don't know his name. I've never met him, but he just went on this spiel.
You know what? That reminds me of something funny that I'll ask you guys what your thoughts are on this. It happened to me recently. So at my gym, we have a private posing room, and it's maybe, let's say, like, I don't know, 10 by 10. So it's not like a big room. And I mean, we've got mirrors on 3 sides and then the mirror up top so you can see everything from behind, right? So, anyways, I finished my workout and I walk into the posing room, and we even have like a little sign like "Do not disturb" or like "in use," so people know someone's in there.
That'd be nice.
I didn't even have the 30 seconds to reopen the door and put the sign on there. And these 3 younger kids like just bum rush in the posing room, and they're like, "Oh, hey, bro, you mind if we join you?" And I kind of just like paused and I like didn't say anything. I kind of looked at how small the room is, and I was like, "You guys can just have it." And they were like, "Oh, really? Like you don't want to pose with us?" And I was like, "No, I'm good." Like, and I walked out of there just thinking like that was so weird. Like, okay, not to say bodybuilding's gay, but from the outside looking in, 3 random dudes I don't know, I really don't have a desire to strip down to my fucking trunks and hit poses
Yeah.
in front of 19 and 20-year-old kids. And it's no shade, it's no disrespect, but I thought it was just really weird of them to like bum rush the room like that. Like, why would you wait until someone you just saw me walk in there? Like, give me my 10, 15 minutes. I'm not going to be that long. But so like I was nice about it. I just let them have it. They were only in there for 10 minutes. But I thought to myself too, not even from like an ego standpoint of I know more than you, but I'm obviously older than them, and I have more competition experience, and I get paid to coach people. So I'm not going to go in a posing room with you, start tweaking your posing, start helping you when you haven't hit me with a Venmo yet. So it also came from like a business side of it too, where like I don't want to be in a posing room helping people that aren't my clients, aren't paying me, and basically just getting free information. And it's not that I'm not about helping people, because I'm a coach. I love helping people, but my time is worth money. And I don't know. It just, the whole situation was so weird to me. And I asked a couple people who I was like, "Hey, like this happened. Do you think that was weird?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's really fucking weird that 3 random dudes like," and again, like, I don't want you in my photos. I don't want to be in your photos. Like, so it was just like a weird situation that happened in a posing room recently. And I was kind of curious what your guys' thoughts were.
Oh
I
god.
feel like the posing room is that small. Maybe just kind of like wait your turn, because like Chris,
Right.
ours is pretty big. But
You
if
guys
I-
look like you have a whole ass like room.
it's,
It
yeah,
is. It's huge.
But if I see like more than one person in there, I kind of hold back. Or if I'm not in a hurry, I'll kind of ditz around, go to the bathroom, maybe make a shake, take my time, and like try to see if they're gone. Because even though it's massive, there's room for plenty of people. I don't want to like be in there at the same time, really. Like I don't mind it from a like I'm not embarrassed or anything, but like I just kind of like give people, it's more so like I don't want other people to kind of like feel like I'm imposing on their time or their
Sure.
space. I'm like, let them take their selfies and pose a little bit without feeling like they're being judged. And then I'll go in and do it. And if they're still in there, I might just leave. So I'm not, that worried about it. I'm off season, so I don't have to pose.
Right.
But and to be honest, with some of the kids that go into our posing room, I actually like feel bad going in.
Because
Yeah.
it's like you're fucking gonna just mog the shit out of them.
Yeah, because I almost like
It's rough.
I don't want to do it, but I feel like it's almost like rude. Like if I just get next to
I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
kid and take my shirt off, I'm like, I
Yeah,
feel
bro like
feel
thinks he's doing something, then you pull up and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna head out now."
so like sometimes I don't want to, because again, it's definitely not like I'm doing it to be a dick to anybody, but then like sometimes I'm like, what's the word, mog? I'm gonna mog a 12-year-old kid or a 16.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't even feel good. Like no.
I don't want to, like, it does feel like I'm being rude or kind of somehow.
Yeah, no, it was just a weird situation. And again, like I'll joke around about how gay bodybuilding is sometimes. Like, I mean, North Americans, my mom walks into the Airbnb and bro's shaving my back and she's like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" I'm like, pause, this looks pretty gay. but
Gay if you're straight.
But exactly, it's not gay unless you're gay. But so anyways, just I don't know. I thought it was just a weird situation. I feel like sometimes maybe it's because I'm such an introvert that I find some situations socially awkward, but that one, I had never had that happen to me before. And like, I've had other times where like I'll be in a posing room and someone pops their head in and they're like, oh, sorry. Well, how much longer you got? No big deal. Like, I get it. But like, to just like bum rush it and be like, oh, hey, let's the 4 of us go pose together. I'm like, hi, I'm Scott. Nice to meet you. But no, it is weird.
It gets awkward. I think even at house, like there's a lot of younger people at House of Pain, and most of them, it sucks because a lot, like I say the younger people, but most of them are older than me. You know what I mean? Like I'm one of the younger guys there.
But
So
like
it gets
young to the
really,
sport.
no, yeah, I mean I'm 20, I'm 24, and all these the broccoli haired kids are all in their 20s, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like we're gonna go take selfies, but it's like we're talking about, it's a job. It's like, dude, I usually
You're
have
trying
my
to win a pro
headphones
card.
in.
They're just trying to get
Yeah.
likes.
I usually have my headphones on when I pose. You know what I mean? I'm like, I just do my thing, whatever, and then I go in there, and there's just a difference, and it's a really big room, so we're super grateful we have what we have. You know what I mean? But it's like, look, dude, like there's 4 of them at a time in there, 5, however many, 3 of them, and you're trying to do your job, and then right next to you, you have these kids just doing whatever they're doing at this point.
Yeah.
This weird like get as crunched up as possible, look big, and it's like, dude, we're the same age. Like, go eat, please. Like, go do something.
Yeah.
I normally will walk out at that point. Like, I'm same as you. I'm especially when I'm training. I get these like crazy eyes, and I get kind of just like in my own zone, and I'll just shut people off. So if I go in the posing room and there's people not taking things seriously, then I'm like, whatever, done for the day. I got a mirror in my basement. Do this later.
It just, to me, like when I say like, and here's another situation too. This was from last week, just to give some context, where it's like I'm not like a fucking weirdo. Like last week I was finishing up my workout. There's a guy, his name's Brandon, super cool guy. He's a member at our gym. He's always there. He was hitting some poses, and there wasn't the sign on the door, so I knock always, even if the sign's on the door. Maybe someone forgot to put it on, and I didn't hear anyone say anything, so I poked the door open and I see he's in there. I was like, oh shit, sorry, my bad. I was like, just let me know when you're done. And me and my buddy Adrian, who works at the gym, he was going to come just look over some posing with me. So the guy Brandon walks out and he's like, oh, you guys about to hit some poses? And like, he's not a bodybuilder, but Adrian and I both are. And we know him. He's cool. So I was like, yeah, I was like, you can come in and watch, like hang out if you want. Like, I don't mind. But it's like one of those things where like, he wasn't looking for posing tips. He wasn't trying to like be in photos. He just wanted to see like what it is we do as bodybuilders. And so like, to let somebody in and have a glimpse of that, I don't mind doing that. But it's also like,
Yeah.
if he's sitting there and being a distraction, like making fucking TikToks and dancing in the background, I'm like, hey, bro, this isn't the time and place. Do you mind giving me some space? So, but Chris, when you said doing the weird poses, oh my God, yesterday.
They're never poses, dude. Like,
yeah, it's weird shit.
yeah.
But, dude, I got
I was wondering, I'm
like
like,
this.
Have you guys not looked at a single bodybuilder? Like, I don't expect you to pose like a pro,
Right.
but whatever you're
Dude.
doing, like, it's so bad. I'm like, have you not watched the video or watched this, anybody on stage? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, okay. This one I haven't seen in years, and you typically see it from a younger guy who doesn't have much muscular development. But there was a dude in my gym yesterday. I think he was there on a day pass, because I know pretty much everyone at my gym by now, by like name or face. And dude was literally just walking around in between sets with the invisible lat syndrome. And he was maybe like $150 soaking wet. Now he did have a good amount of like muscularity to him. So I was like so confused. I was like, why would you walk around literally like you're 10 times bigger than you are, flaring your lats, when like we all know that's not normal body position. And you're not like, no one in the gym right now is like, oh my God, who's this guy? Like, you're a nobody, just like me. So like, if anything, you're just a nobody who's walking around like a fucking weirdo. And I didn't even say anything at first. My client I was training was like, hey, get a load of that guy over there. I was like, dude, I was like, I know I wanted to say something, but like, it's not my place. But he brought it up. So I was like, you guys ever see that shit? Like someone who walks like they're 10 times bigger than they actually are. It's like, bro, like you have a good physique. Don't do that. You look stupid.
I like when kids my age try to like size me up, especially when I wear all my big clothes. They're like, they kind of like look at me like at the gym and they start staring at me. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are we doing? Like,
it's
I take steroids. You know what I mean? Let's be real here for a minute.
It's so weird. Like, I've never like, when I say like I'll size somebody up, I don't mean it as like I'm comparing myself. Like, okay, probably the first time Justin and I met, I sized him up. I was like, bro's about my height, but damn, he's stacked. I was like, and my thought is it can be done. That's what I thought when I first met Justin. Not like sizing up like, oh, I'd beat this dude, because that ain't true. But it's one of those things where it's like, it's never like sizing it up like, oh, this guy ain't shit. Like, yeah, he won his class at his last show. He's going for his pro card, but I you know what I mean? It's never like hate. It's always just like, oh, damn, like you're relative to my height, but you're fucking jacked. Like, how'd you do it, bro? Good for you.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're thinking. I don't know, but in my head, everyone's mean. So I'm just like, fuck you guys. I get bad about that, man.
All right, I got one more for the day, and then we can do anything you guys want before we wrap up. But, you know, there's a lot of good up-and-coming people, and I don't know. I mean, like, I just want to know who's on your guys' radar. Like, who do you guys think is next? And I'll give you one, and I think, Justin, obviously, you know who I'm going to say because we were with him in Vegas. But, dude, your boy Ken, holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit. He lives up to the name Colossus Ken. That dude is a freak.
He's doing his debut for New York Pro.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to see. He looks nuts. I think he's working with Andrew Vu, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
He's a big dude. I met him in person for the first time. If I remember right. I can't remember. I think he won the overall at 23 North Americans. So I guess the second time was at Vegas this year at Torture Gym.
Yep.
And I think he was like 270 or 280 at that time. And
he was huge when we were with him. Like, I was literally just in awe because, again, relative to our height, but like fucking fridge.
Yeah, just a big dude. But yeah, he's looking good. I'm excited to see how he does.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be up in the top. I mean, I think Nick has it. And then you got, who else? Oh, there's Regan Grimes.
Regan's coming back. I feel like we haven't seen Regan in a while, but he always looks good.
Yeah, so Regan's supposed to do New York Pro, and then I think this foreign guy like Sasan or a Middle Eastern.
I know here the bald guy. He looks Middle Eastern.
Yeah. So I mean, those three are going to be good, and then I think Ken is going to be up there. I mean, I don't know. I don't see how he wouldn't get top 5 unless there's some people that I don't know that are competing. But I'm excited to see Ken. He looks crazy.
You know who else is on my radar that's up and coming? It's one of Cameron Cheek's guys. I don't know if either of you guys will know him, but his name's Trevor Birch. Dude,
yeah.
Trevor posted some physique updates and holy lats. Like, dude.
Is he from Texas or something?
I don't know if Cameron posted it or let me look and see. It was literally maybe a couple days ago. Let's see. May 3rd. So this was a few weeks ago. So he's 3 weeks ago when this was posted. He was so he's probably 10 weeks out from his pro debut. But dude, I mean, like, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this on camera, but like, holy shit.
Yeah.
He looks pretty solid. Yeah, he won the overall at nationals in 23, I think.
23.
Yeah, I think that sounds accurate as well, because now he's taken some time off to obviously grow and get ready for a debut. But like, I mean, dude, there's some heavy hitters that are coming up that are about to make some splash and some waves on the federation. So it's really cool to see. It's motivating for me, obviously. I know a lot of these guys are relative to all of our height. So it's like, again, when I see a just stacked dude that's like 5'7", 5'8", I'm like, okay, back to the kitchen and then back to the gym.
Sure.
You guys got anyone that's on your radar you guys are up and coming or keeping an eye
on? Who is it? He works with Controlled Insanity, actually. He's this mixed dude.
I know who you're talking about. Niall or?
Yeah, Niles.
Yep.
He looks nuts.
Dude.
I think he'll be. So he was at the Olympia last year. Yep. Shape's crazy. Yeah, he looks great. Dude, Josema still's nutty.
That was another one. I don't even know how to say his name, like Hosema or whatever, but like, bro, the condition.
I wish he could fix his posing though. He leans so much.
I saw his side chest and he was, like really kind of angled. And I was like, ooh, like he's got such but that could be better.
Everything from like even his front double and stuff. He always likes to tilt with it. But he's kind of taller. I think he's like 5'10" or something like that. And it's like, dude, if you could just hit straight on, like, you'd be money. He's conditioned, he's peeled, and he's super symmetrical. And he's like 23 years old, something like that. Like, he's young. Yeah, he's a beast.
He was close with, was it Terrence? Wasn't it Terrence?
Yeah, he got second.
So, I mean, honestly, side chest, you might be able to win the pose with just tweaking the posing.
He'll
And-
be at New York Pro this weekend also.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll be one to watch out for. I mean, in the classic physique space, like obviously I'm not surprised Terrence won at Pittsburgh. He looked good. There were obviously some other guys that definitely like gave him a good run there. But like even Justin and I were talking about our boy Carlos, who out of Brazil. I mean, for his classic debut was absolutely insane. I think he posted today that he is switching coaches and now working with Neil Hill. So I mean, no shade to the coach he was working with before, Johnny Sebastian. They did great work together, but I think obviously now he's looking at, Neil Hill has worked with some of the best classic physique guys and also some of the best open guys. So, of course, looking for maybe a different approach to how to build his physique better. But like Carlos is a freak too. Anton's a freak. I mean, there's so many good physiques in obviously like bodybuilding and classic physique right now that I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just because we're so deep into it and so like attentive to it, but like I feel like this is the most entertaining bodybuilding shows have been in the last 5 years. Because 5 years ago, not like I wasn't as involved as I am now, but I just didn't care as much because the physiques weren't like as relevant to me. But now I'm like, dude, like this is fucking fun.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like we're in like a good like era. I mean, we had 6 feet Chris Bumstead, and then the open we have the top 6, 7, 8 guys are like quality. And that top 5, depending on the day, you could have
anyone could flip flop.
Could win, Derek could win, Nick could win. Like the top number 1 place could be 4 or 5 different guys depending on who brings it that day. Like and then the classic physique guys, you got some of those up and coming guys we talked about. I feel like we're in like a good competitive era of bodybuilding, I guess. Years ago, like I remember when Brandon Curry won the Olympia. And no disrespect to him, but like I was not that impressed.
Sure.
And like even Sean Roden when he won, he looked great, but the overall quality of the competition I feel like was down relative to like where it is now or years prior when you had like Kai and Phil and Branch and guys like that.
Yeah.
I feel like we had like a little downtime, but like now is a very, very competitive and like entertaining time.
He had Big Ramy there for a few years, but it was just because he was big. You know what I mean? No one else was he wasn't really that conditioned. No one else was stepping up to him.
Yeah,
you know what's
I
funny
really
is
liked Ramy. Like he was just massive.
he's just big,
he's
yeah.
huge. That's it.
And like I said, his conditioning was never like out of this world. And obviously his shape wasn't necessarily the best. He was just massive.
Huge.
So it was like interesting, but I never like liked him.
Yeah. And I like that he sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like with Big Ramy, because there's the language barrier, because he's foreign and doesn't do as much social media. Like I feel like there's such a big disconnect where like maybe over there they really, really like he's their C-bum, but like over here, like we've never once probably talked about him on this podcast. And to be honest, I haven't heard anything about him even making a comeback in the longest time. Like for all we know, he's done.
I'm pretty sure he's done.
So it was one of those things where kind of like you said, like he was a mass monster. So like, what the fuck else are you going to do with that kind of like natural size? I get it, be a bodybuilder, but like kind of like what Justin was saying is like, I don't know, like even maybe every couple years, like for example, I'll relate this to hockey. Like the Red Wings had that 25-year playoff run, which the whole time was entertaining as fuck. If you're a hockey fan and a Detroit Red Wing fan, especially now, dude, you can pay me to watch a fucking Red Wings game, even though I like the squad. They don't win games. So why the fuck am I going to watch a losing team? Like, so it's like almost like there are chapters in each like sport or whatever where you're like, yo, this is the time to tune in. And I think right now is the time.
Yeah.
Well, you guys got anything else you wanna go over tonight before we wrap up?
Oh, I don't think so.
Chris is thinking about bed and food. Justin's probably thinking about his next meal. I got still
how sore my back is.
Dude, my fucking lats after the back day I did yesterday. I trained with one of my guys at the gym. He I think he won the bodybuilding title for Miss Arizona in I want to say 2023. So someone who's, accomplished some good stuff in his competitive career. And unfortunately, he's got a tricep tear right now. So he probably won't be competing anytime soon, but the guy still trains his ass off. So shout out Adrian if he's listening to this. But him and it's so rare I train with anybody. One, because I like to train late at night. Two, just it's so rare someone's going to follow my exact split or how I need to train right now. So it's always dope when like someone who's like a high level athlete themselves like hops in, but also it's just like, hey, like you're getting ready for a show soon. I'm not. Like, I'll follow your split. I'll help you. And so like he's been actually someone who's really helped me out a lot lately. But it was just a fun session. But fuck, dude, my lats are killing me today. So
It's I train alone most of the time, but it is fun when you can train with somebody that is like on the like same level of intensity or who competes and like takes that shit seriously. There's some people like even if I like them, they talk too much or like they're just there to kind of hang out. It's like I like you, but like again, I'm here to work out. Like we can chat before and after, but I want to fucking work.
Well, you know what's funny is like the handful of times Justin, you and I have trained together, like obviously on here, we're going to yap for hours, but like, dude, when we're training, it's just like, all right, what weight do you want next? Okay, cool. How many? Got it. Go. Like, it's like, we don't really like have these long in-depth conversations. Like, I'm not trying to fucking pick your brain while we're literally in between sets. Like,
yeah,
good. Like I should be breathing heavy if I'm working hard. What's that?
I said, yeah, I'm trying to breathe and then I'm trying to like prepare mentally for the next set, how much pain I'm going to be in.
Yeah, most people don't understand that. Like, and even some of my clients, they'll be like, I'll usually keep like a timer for the rest, usually just a minute in between sets, so their heart rate doesn't go too high, too low, and that way they have some like baseline of consistency if they're not training with me, like so they don't sit on their phones and just doom scroll. But like I'll have clients where I'm like, all right, timer's up, hit your next set, and they'll like keep talking. I'm like, not to be rude, but I'm like, focus on your set. We can talk in between. I have no problem doing that, but like you should be working and focused on your set so that by the time you're resting, that's actually what you're doing. Like we can talk, but you should be breathing so heavy that you're kind of having a hard time talking to me in between. If you aren't going hard enough, you know? But all right, well, I think that's going to wrap up this yap session. As always, I appreciate you guys for taking the time. Chris, I'm sure I'll talk to you tomorrow. Justin, same. But for you guys listening, always appreciate the love and support. Drop a comment down below, anything you want to hear us talk about, any guests you want to get on. But yeah, that's all I got. I appreciate you guys. And until next time, peace.